Greetings from Florida. Today we're working on a 2003 to 2010 Volkswagen Beetle Convertible. The coupes and the sedan are different. This is the convertible. We've got 3 Torx 15 screws on the bottom. Take those out. 3 go across. By the way, these panels are extremely brittle, easy to break, so be very gentle as you go. If you need a recommendation, Bosch, B-O-S-C-H tools, they're the best. I've had really good luck with them. So he has one of the repair type handles. Normally it's a plastic handle that you pop off. They break quite easily. So a lot of people get these metal plate repair handles. And I couldn't quite get this off, so I'm going to take it off from the other side. I don't want to crack the plastic, so I finally gave up on it and just decided to take it off when I get the panel off. That one popped out a little bit easier on the back, the gas switch cap, unplug it. Now, the top part of these panels is that candy-coated shell finish. It cracks incredibly easy. It's easy to break. Be careful when you take the door panel off. Slowly, gently. Don't yank it. I've broken 2 of these and you can't replace them. After 15 or 20 years, they're really, really brittle. So take your time. Don't do this on a really cold day if you're up north. So on the back of that, let's see, there were a couple wiring harnesses. There was also a cable that went to the silver handle, the door handle that opens the door. That comes off quite easily. And the harnesses for a couple different things were back there. They just unplug. It's not that challenging. If you find this video helpful, please like the video. That will help other people find it on YouTube. People such as yourself that are looking to do this themselves. The part's quite expensive, available only from the dealer. They can't be rebuilt, so you're kind of stuck. They do sell some kits with the cables and the spool, and you can rebuild it yourself. Forget it. It's not going to happen. I can't do it. I've done this for 25 years. So if you can do it, you're a better man than I. Or woman. My apologies. And I'm going to set the panel somewhere where I won't break it, because again, it's very brittle plastic. Now, the official concept of how to do this is to remove the outside handle, remove the actual door latch. No, I don't want to do that. That becomes a real thing. It's a lot more work. It's not worth the effort. You can just slide the panel back and replace the regulator. You'll see in a minute. So I'm taking off the motor. You can let it hang. You don't have to do anything with it. And I want to bring down the glass enough to get access to it through the access panels. That top one didn't have to come off. I don't know why I took it off right there. The cables on this were pretty messed up, so it became a real problem to get the glass down, to get the bolts out. Pulled back the seal strip, taking out the 10mm bolts. peeling that back. There'll be some sticky stuff all around it. And I think what I'm doing here is reaching in and cutting the cables, if I'm not mistaken. I needed to get the glass down. Oh, maybe I didn't need to cut the cables, but I need to get the. If you do need to get the glass down, they won't go. You can cut the cables. It's not going to do any worse. Now, Torx 40 bolt on the left. That one goes all the way through the glass, so you're going to go ahead and take it out completely. A magnet's handy if you have it. If it drops to the bottom, it's okay. You're going to open it up anyway. The other one's a Torx 30. And that one doesn't have to be removed all the way. That one you can just loosen to take the glass out. And now I'm taking the glass out. There's a plate on the left side of the glass. You're going to get a new one with the new regulator. You can change it or not as you wish. I did just because it was a new one, so why not? I had it. It just snaps onto the glass, and there's a hole in the glass that the bolt goes through. The Torx 40 bolt goes through, and that plate goes around that hole. Make sure you get the right part. I probably should have checked before I got started, but I was pretty confident I did. And move the glass around to the other side. Be gentle with the glass. You don't want to have a problem there. Needle nose pliers, you can go ahead and pop those through. And then you've got 10 millimeter nuts there and there, and two on the bottom. On the bottom ones, right under there. You get a couple covers, remove the covers, and then you can get access to the two 10 millimeter nuts on the bottom. Now those nuts can be slid back and forth about half an inch in either direction after everything's put back together. So if the glass tilts too far in towards the cockpit or doesn't come enough into the cockpit, you can slide those back and forth to move your glass back and forth. Not side to side, but back and forth. Usually it's not an issue. If you try to line it up where the original one was, you're fine. After you get those four nuts off, you should be able to slide the entire assembly out. And this is what I was talking about. It's easier to slide the thing in and out than to remove the latch and the outside handle on this. Now, for a lot of the newer cars, the Hyundais, the Kias, you really do have to take out the latch and the outside handle to get the whole assembly out because you're changing the whole assembly. that whole plate, that whole metal plate. On this one, you're not. So I just couldn't see taking that whole thing apart. It's just a lot of work. This will probably take me a minute on the video to line up the two posts that go through the holes on the bottom. Putting the nuts in from the bottom. And I took that one off because I don't think I had the bottom one lined up properly. Next up, getting that plate on with the four 10mm bolts that hold that in place. Oh, right there where my finger was, there's a hole where there's a clip from the regulator that pops into that. It goes around the cables and just holds cables in place. Oh, down there below the speaker isn't a 10mm bolt, it's a 10mm nut. There's a post that goes through the metal panel, and that's what's there. The rest of them are all 10mm bolts. Now, I'm carefully using a pair of needle nose to pull the brackets up to the point where I'm going to be able to put the glass in and then anchor in the bolts. I don't know if this is what you want to do. You might want to go ahead and put the motor on and use the switch to power it up and down. That's fine. And we're back with the glass. And I'm changing that plate that goes on the glass that I did not show you. I apologize. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a plate that crimps around the glass. And this might require a little tweaking. You're going to go ahead and tighten down the 30 and the 40 Torx bolts. And then you're going to line up the glass with the window, putting the seal strip back on. You're going to line up the glass with the window. You're going to close the door and see if it closes properly. And if it's off by a little bit, it's easier to adjust the up and down part of it by just adjusting the bolts. So loosen the bolt, move the glass up a quarter, over a quarter of an inch, whatever it takes. And in a minute, I'm going to close the door and see if it lines up. And I'm going to hook up the switch, turn on the key, and then just tuck the switch and the wires away for a minute. Make sure you open the other window first before you do this. You don't lock the keys in the car or open the other door. And now you can't see what's going on, but trust me, I'm checking to see if the glass lines up. It did not. I had to make a couple of adjustments. I went ahead and went through the passenger door to try the switch out. And let's try it again. I think I caught a little closer this time. And that was the hard part of this. So now remember to put the cable back onto the handle, the silver pull handle, plug everything back in, and you should be good. If you have any questions, again, please ask them right here on YouTube. I'll be glad to answer them. If you like this video, or if it's helpful, please hit the like button on the video, and that will help other people find it as well. Thanks for watching, and have a great week.